Hey again. This is number 3 for the day. I know, so crazy. All right, sorry about my hair. Just kind of was like laying down. Decided to just chill a little. Okay, so today we got, let's see, we got our highlight and contour, lip and cheek. And as you can see, like, it's been a little bit and my lip still looks amazing. So now we're going to move on to eyes for part 4. No, part 5. Oh, wow, we're on part 5. So now we only have 2 after this. Woohoo! So part 5 is eyes. So I really love doing different eye colors, but I have, as you can see, pretty hooded eyes where you don't really see too much of my eyelid, right? So I was watching another artist. Her name was Harmony, I believe. And she had a really good tip for how to help with that and getting the hooded part, like, not so far in your crease that you can't see it when you open your eye. So we're going to give that a try, and the technique I'm going to use today is ombre. Super easy. I am still mastering the ones where people use like some of it under their eye. For some reason, I just have not been able to get the hang of that and get it to look right on myself. So we're going to go ahead and just do this ombre look here. And basically, we put the ombre look. What we're going to do is we're going to go right near our lash line, just a little bit up with our darkest color. Then middle would be the next darkest, or I'm sorry, like the mid color. We have darkest, mid, and light. So darkest is going to be at the bottom. Mid is going to be in the middle, like kind of to your crease. And then the lightest color is going to be the one that goes above, like up to your brow bone. And then we're going to use that to blend it all together. So I don't have a ton of shadows in my personal palette, but they're all colors that I love. So what I'm going to do today is Tawanda is one of my favoriteest colors. So that I'm going to use as my mid color. Then for my dark color, let's go. We're going to try Gigi out with Tawanda, and then Mama is going to be the lightest. Okay. So I have 2 shimmers and a matte. So we're going to try that out. Got my handy dandy eyeshadow brush. Love this brush. Everything's double-sided. It's amazing. Now, if you wanted to get really, really close to your lash line and really do something super thin, you know, like kind of like a liner, which you can use any of our shadows as a liner. You just have to spray either, let's see, there's a couple. We have our line brush, which is really good. It has this really like tough edge, very sturdy, so like very, you know, precise. And then there's also the multitasker. So this little side here would be good for that as well if you wanted to do that. So what you can do is you can spray the tip of your brush with setting spray, which Saint has a setting spray. I have not tried it yet because I haven't really needed a use for it. But then you spray that, dip your brush into the color that you want to try to use to line, and you just kind of, you know, line the edge. I'm not very good with lining yet, so that will have to be another time. But I can do that ombre look. Now I'm going to use a combination of these 2 brushes, the eyeshadow brush and my multitasker. So for the first thing I'm going to do, and a lot of people like to do, is they like to prime their eyelids to prevent creases. So I'm actually going to prime mine with an Illuminator. Now I also have Tangled, which is a cream eyeshadow there. So I could definitely use that, but I'm going to opt for Pearl Illuminator. So this is going to give me some shimmer, which I'm just going to go ahead and use my finger for this guy. And what this is going to do is, and I'm just going to go up to my brow bone on this and all over my eyelid. This is just going to give me a nice base for my other colors to kind of adhere to. Now, you definitely don't have to put a base. I know a lot of people like to, because the more adhesion you get, the more pigment it can become. Now, I swear it looks like my eye is a little red here, and I apologize, but that's from plucking my eyebrows. Yeah, it's really painful, and I hate that it turns red, but whatever. What are you gonna do? Okay, so now that I have my illuminator, now as you can see, that is not like super shiny. The powdered illuminators, I have not tried those yet, but those apparently give you like super in your face, woo, shimmer. Whereas the cream ones are just a little more subtle, and they kind of just give you a little brighten there. The first thing, okay, now that we're primed, right? I'm going to go ahead and use that darkest color, which is going to be my GG color. And I'm just going to put it on the flat end of my multitasker. And I'm going to kind of just put it down here, like basically like I'm lining like an eyeliner, but obviously I don't have to be as close to my lash line as you would if you were actually using an actual liner. Then another thing that I've picked up from other artists is you kind of just stipple on your color. You can get a very nice pigmentation going. So GG isn't super overpowering, but we're gonna just kind of put it on. I want it to show, so okay. Now we'll do this side, which is so funny because I'm right-handed, so obviously doing the right side of my face always seems to be a little different than the left. I don't know if it's because I have to like take my time more on the left side or what. Maybe it's just the angle of how I have to hold it in my hand, like the comfortability, or what. It's just so crazy. I feel like sometimes it's like a little bit more detailed on the left than on the right. I have not figured out the best way to handle that. Okay, so we have GG on the bottom, right? Now there are, I don't have it in my main palette. So these are some other colors. These are more for my customer uses instead of my personal collection. But we have this little tile brush that you can kind of rub your brush in and get that color off. Now, this is great because it fits in your palette. You can find these on Amazon that are a little bigger. I have a couple of those because before I got into Saint, I actually bought them. So I got this as a free gift for a purchase, which I was happy. So I kind of keep it in there so my customers can see what it is. But you can get them, you know, from Amazon if you want. I prefer to, you know, if I'm going to spend my money, I like to spend it on the things that I can use for the color. So that's just a little savings tip. So instead of buying that, I could have bought another shadow or something, you know. So I'm going to go with the shadow or the lip and cheek instead of something that I don't get to use on my actual face. But it does come in handy because I got my GG off. Okay, so I'm done with this brush for right now. I don't think we'll need it again, but we're going to keep it handy. So now I'm going to move to my eyeshadow brush. I'm going to use the little stubby side, and I'm going to use this to put on Mama, which is going to be my next color, and we're going to go up to our crease on that. Now, Mama is my absolute favorite color out of all of the shadows. I love it. Okay, so I mentioned before a little tip that Harmony had provided. So she said what you should do is keep your eye open while you're doing your crease, especially hooded eyes like I have. And I'm, you know, just going back and forth here so that you see it more. Now see, you can kind of get a glimpse of it. And this pink, I don't know what it is about it, but it just brings out my blue eyes. I found this color just because when I first started buying some of the colors, I just wanted something that I could use every day. And I went to a wedding and decided to use this color, and wow, it made my eyes just pop. And as you can see, it is doing exactly what I wanted to do, is making it pop. So you can see, like, even though I have that hooded eye, you can still see that pink popping through, which is exactly what I want. So I'm gonna just kind of do this again. I love a beautiful shadow look. And I've learned how to take the pictures better, so that makes me happy too. Okay, so we have Gigi on. We have Mama on. Now, as you can see, Gigi's just really hanging out there. She's not overly doing anything. Tawana kind of took on the show, which I don't mind. So now I'm going to go ahead and use Mama. This is just a really pale pink, and I'm going to use her to just kind of windshield wiper over the crease to my brow bone. So you see, it's a very light pink, nothing crazy. And we're just gonna lightly put that on like this. All right. Okay. Now, what else I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of get Mama on over, just to kind of blend all my colors together. Because when you're doing shadow, it's nice to have a great, nice, like, blend where your colors kind of just roll together seamlessly. Okay, so definitely a difference, and as you can see, my blue is really coming out a lot more. That is the colors that I'm using. Now, a lot of people like to do something in their corners, kind of to just brighten it and really draw the attention, and also at like the right under the brows here. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna use my finger here to just kind of put some of that Pearl Illuminator. And honestly, I don't really see the difference when I'm actually like looking right here, but others see it when they're looking at you, so that's good. Now for the inner part of my eye, I'm gonna go ahead and take that flat side again. Thought I might need it. I'm just gonna kind of dot it right there. That's just gonna add a little brightness, and I believe it will also kind of widen when you brighten a little bit, widen the eye part. Okay, so quick, easy I feel like I need to blend a little more though, so I'm just gonna kind of go back over. This side for some reason looks a little bit pinker than the other. Okay. I don't know why I feel that way. Another thing you can do is definitely, like, if you're noticing you need to straighten it up a bit, you can blend with your finger too. Okay. So this other trick I want to show you is with the eyebrows. I mentioned it, I believe, in part 3 with the cheetah hack. And I'm going to use my little line brush here, and it has this little spoolie part, and then it has this like angled bristle part here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and line my brows and kind of make them a little bit hey. Never did this before, and I didn't know to do this until my friend Lisa, who got me into Saint, started doing it at my opening party on my face, and I was like, what? But then I did it, and after I saw doing it, everyone was like, oh my gosh, that makes such a difference. And it really does, because, you know, your eyebrows don't always have the same kind of color, and that's okay. Like, I mean, I feel like it looks fine, but after you actually like put it on, you're gonna be like blown away. All right, so I'm gonna take a picture real quick. And the key to taking eyeshadow pictures, I found, and it's taken so much practice and it still doesn't turn out every time, is to look down without closing your eyes fully. And the angle has to be right, the lighting has to be right, like it all has to be perfect. So even the most experienced people that have been doing makeup still have to take like a kajillion pictures before they get like one that they really like. So we're gonna try to get a couple before I line my brows. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna dip this. Some people use actually eyeshadow colors. I'm going to use my contour color because basically your contour usually tries to get matched to the closest shade of your hair. And I found this is perfect. So you dip it in there. It doesn't have to be a lot. A little goes a long way with Saint. So I'm gonna just kind of go above my eyebrow and kind of just line it a little. I'm gonna do the same thing below. Now this is gonna give me some definition and color. And I'm gonna kind of just go right here. I'm just kind of gonna flick through it with what's left on my brush. Now, I'm not a big eyebrow person to where I know how to make them shaped and all. I'm always so nervous to like make myself look silly. But as you can see, like between this one and this one, it's awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of brush this up a little. Just get it mixed in, and then I'm gonna use that same little spoolie, just kind of straighten it out. So, can you tell the difference? It fills in the gaps that I have, because I pluck my eyebrows, and sometimes you accidentally grab a whole bunch that you don't mean to grab. So like I said, we're gonna just go ahead and line above. The great part is you mess up a little, so easy to fix. I'm gonna do right here a little bit, get in there. I'm just gonna kind of take it through my brow. Now, it looks like I got a little bit there that I don't really need, but we're just gonna see. Brushing it up does the trick. Yes, it did. I know, right? Isn't that so awesome? So not only does my contour help me with my forehead and making my face more defined, it's gonna define my brows. I know, awesome. I love it. So that is pretty much it. And I don't know if you noticed when I was kind of up close, see how that little, like, almost looks a little white? That's where we brightened with that illuminator. So that looks awesome, right? I know. That is our eyes. We do not sell mascara. I know, so crazy. However, there are lots of different brands out there. I am still looking for the right brand for myself. I have very sensitive eyes when it comes to mascara. So right now I'm using an Almay Length and Lift, and the bristle is made out of like a plant-based material. So it's a little better for the environment, and it seemed to be one that was recommended for like sensitive. Still trying to find some really good ones though, so I'm terrible. I'm trying to put this on while I'm videoing. Like, okay. And then for me, I usually will just close my eye, like roll my eyeball back and forth to try to get some on my bottom, because anytime I try to get my bottom, I end up like getting so close I like poke myself and then my eyes start watering and it's just a hot mess. I don't go crazy on mascara. I wish maybe I was a little better at it, but it definitely gets the job done like what I need it to do. Like, it just gives me a little bit of extra color around the eyes. So kind of flutter, undo that. And my eyes, the bottom ones have just a little bit of what they need. Okay, so that is our eyes. I know, it's amazing, right? It turned out so awesome, so easy, and it's the whole shebang. So I will be moving on to step 6 after this, which is going to be setting our look. So previously I mentioned this little guy here, Perfector Sponge. He's going to come into play in the next video for setting our look. Okay, so I will see you guys soon. Have a good one.